Welcome back to the Magnetic Marketing Podcast. This is part 2 of the 7 Secrets of Mind Control Copy by Dan Kennedy. Now, Dan Kennedy in the last episode went over the E factors, the 4 principles that you need, and why it's all right to be able to use these types of techniques in your advertising. Now, we've already covered, out of the 7, we've covered shame, emotional pain, anger, and mysticism. And to finish everything, we have Dan Kennedy returning once more to finish 7 Secrets of Mind Control Copy, Part 2. Let's jump in.
I don't think there's anybody that has had a bigger impact in the field of direct response than Dan Kennedy.
The legend of Dan Kennedy should be ignored at your own peril.
They're not really lessons, they're kind of laws that you live by.
Dan opened my eyes to what small business marketing looks like.
Dan teaches strategic direct response that is timeless.
His ripple effect touches people who don't even know his name.
The world as we know it was changed because Dan Kennedy became obsessed with marketing.
Welcome to the Magnetic Marketing Podcast with your host, Dan Kennedy.
So I'll show you some copy. Happens to be mine. This is current. What they will not tell you about living without chronic, daily, annoying, embarrassing pain that I will. While you'll never hear about these pain relief secrets on the evening TV news, they do not dare tell you. We'll do a financial one. Your banker, annuity salesman, stockbroker, all pray you ignore this. Here's a boardroom piece. Medically proven miracles of healing censored by the medical establishment. Let me tell you about the stunning no side effects cures that greedy drug companies and FDA bureaucrats don't want you to have. This is a piece from 1970. You will find the same copy in pieces in the mail selling alternative health information today. Here's some more boardroom. Notice the commonalities. Here's some more boardroom. The IRS hopes you never read this. This is an important commonality. It's been in every example I've shown you. There is somebody hoping and praying that you never hear about X. That's an important copy piece. Here it is again, just said differently. Legal loopholes your accountant never tells you about. Relying on your tax preparer to save you money? Huge mistake. Is your accountant an undercover agent for the IRS? 1,252 secrets that let you slash your taxes and live like a millionaire, and magic words that instantly cut your taxes. Magic words indeed. Here is a current control for an information product. Say these 5 magic words to your local bank teller, and you could walk away with a handful of silver. I never thought this would work, but it did. I tried it, and to my surprise, I got 34 silver coins from a single bank. Needless to say, I'm going back for more. Thanks for the great idea. 5 magic words, and they'll just give you money. No, those is not the 5 magic words. However, this is a 16-page sales letter all about the 5 magic words. And amongst the lists that it is being mailed to, Barron's subscribers. No, not Trailer Park Monthly. No, Barron's subscribers. This is a current control client of mine. This is, by the way, offline to online. This is a postcard that drives to an online presentation. I'll just read you one set of words. So let me take you inside the secret world of earning fast cash profits by simply finding wholesale real estate that insiders are keeping all to themselves. Here's the other control, same client. This postcard looks like this. That headline is a swipe, by the way, from a 20-year-old infomercial, how to get a good second paycheck without a second job. I will read you the pieces of copy. The most amazing means of making spare time, moonlighting, or weekend income ever invented that's hidden in plain sight on every street in America, which is why we call it hidden in plain sight money. This is kept behind a curtain where insiders easily pocket finder's fees. Get this mental picture. Step into a continuous flow of hidden in plain sight money and receive large paychecks sent by Federal Express right to your door. Well, who wouldn't want that? The mental picture of the FedEx guy bringing you money suspends all rational thought. Who wouldn't want that? This is mailed to investor lists, people that have accounts in which they buy and sell and trade stocks. Ignoring my last two alerts cost you quick profits of 589% and 610%. The undiscovered tech stock named inside is destined to become what tech stock insiders don't want you to know. Gee, that sounds familiar. Obscure biotech firm about to unveil the greatest medical breakthrough since penicillin. Buy this undiscovered tech stock now, and every 10,000 you invest could grow to 20,000, 30,000, or even 40,000. Here is a current control. Exposed. Obama's shocking second-term plan to micromanage everyone's home power use, literally the most insidious power grab by any government anywhere. It doesn't sell information. It sells a generator box that somehow magically makes power by itself. Ultimate marketing plan. Let me just give you a few quick headlines. How to tap into, this is pages 28 and 29, by the way, in the Ultimate Marketing Plan book, if you have it. How to tap into little known government money to pay nursing home bills. A secret plan for veterans to get $1,949 per month tax-free. It's criminal that veterans aren't better informed of these benefits that they deserve. Warning why your life insurance may be a sitting duck for taxes and how to fix it. Warning the hidden mistake with revocable trust that traps your money. Insurance salesmen sell insurance. Lawyers sell trusts. Beware. The truth about gold. You see the TV ads, hear the radio ads, what you must know before you buy gold, or if you already own it, that they won't tell you. It never wears out. The secrets that they don't want you to know. Factor 5, revenge. An enormously popular concept. It's in the all laughed ad I showed you. Until I started to play, then they all shut up. Their jaws dropped. They were amazed. That's revenge. Right? Who doesn't want revenge against someone? A former girlfriend remembers Bill Gates as being boring and having bad breath. He remembers her as not having $100 million. Who doesn't want revenge? By somebody your buyer feels underestimated, thought of as such things are not for you, disrespected, doubted, skeptical about, looked down upon, put down, treated as a second-class citizen, and excluded. By somebody, everybody feels this. Have you watched Leno lately? he is not going happily. He feels very disrespected by NBC. Somebody could sell him on doing something not smart, like a show on Fox when he leaves. These feelings are held by everybody. They feel it about someone's response to them, and they wish to prove them wrong. Story. So revenge stories work very well in copy. The most raucous standing ovation I have ever seen, and I have seen many, was the delivery of a beautifully scripted story, which I will not do verbatim for you. But in my youth, I was at a large Amway rally. For those of you that don't know, the Amway system for many years included a monthly area rally, and typically a superstar of the business was the featured speaker. This guy's name was Charlie Marsh, and he was a kind of ugly, crew-cut, toady-looking guy, ex-cop. He had a good-looking wife, but Charlie didn't look like much. And Charlie told the story, go all the way back also to the point of this cartoon. So Charlie told the story of his first, so how many of you have been in an MLM? Raise your hands. Okay. How many of you have been in an MLM that uses living room opportunity meetings? Okay, so you would all identify with this story. So Charlie told the story of getting in the business and, of course, having his wife very skeptical and his mother-in-law very skeptical. And Charlie had a history sort of like Jackie Gleason on The Honeymooners and Al Bundy of, trying one scheme after another to make money and failing miserably. And so, here we go again. And so Charlie invites, as everyone was taught to do, to his first living room meeting, all his friends, his cop buddies, and his neighbors and relatives. And at 7 o'clock, his living room is empty, and his nose is pressed to the window waiting for someone to come, and they do not come. And then next week, he called and invited everybody again to another meeting, and they did not come. Now, he tells this story much more poignantly than I am telling it. It leads up to hitting Crown Direct Distributor, which at the time was the highest level in Amway, and taking his wife on a 21-day world cruise and inviting everybody down to the docks to the Bon Voyage party. All the friends, the relatives, the neighbors, his cop buddies, everybody to a Bon Voyage party on the docks, to which everybody came because there was free food, free booze, balloons, etc. However, they were already on the boat so that they could stand by the railing of the boat as all their friends gathered on the docks and give them the finger. I have never seen an audience, now it's perfect message to market match, I have never in all my years seen an audience erupt and stay erupted for as long a period of time as that story. Because every one of them in the room shared the first part of that experience. And it hurts. It is emotional pain, not just a business occurrence. And Charlie was revenge. And everybody went home that night thinking about what their version of the Bon Voyage party would be. Larry King tells this story. I was on the success events with Larry for many, many years. And so it's sort of what happens in your mind. Larry tells this story, which again, I'll very much condense, about when he was on radio in Miami, which was early in his career, getting a call from an Italian accent, bent-nosed guy, explaining to him that they were having a benefit for the local cardinal and they wanted Larry to MC, and Larry, of course, agreed. And when he got there, The bent-nosed guys took him backstage and explained to Larry there's only a few rules, no jokes about the mafia because there's no such thing as a mafia. Don't ask anybody to turn the house lights up because there's competitors in the room, and there's some folks from the government in the back, and everybody kind of knows everybody's here, but they don't like to see everybody. So just don't ask them to turn up the lights, and please finish on time. So Larry does his thing, and all he wants to do is get out of there. And they are in the back waiting for him, and everybody's very pleased. You did a very nice job. We're very grateful, and now we owe you a favor. Larry, no. Larry just wants to get out of there. And they said, no, you don't understand. We owe you a favor, and we don't like owing people favors. So what would you like? Larry said, he says, the next question you'll probably never be asked in your life. He said, but the next question out of the guy's mouth to me is, well, you got anybody you want whacked? Larry says, I don't care who you are. At that moment, in your mind, you start a list. All right? Now, the same thing with Charlie's Bon Voyage story. What occupied their minds for the rest of the evening was their version of the Bon Voyage party. And even people not yet in the business have an experience like that where they have been dissed by their family and their friends and their coworkers, and boy, they would like vindication. That story now presses everything else out of their little pointy heads. So there's no sales resistance to what is being sold. It's a very important principle. Factor number 6, fear/insecurity. There are many fears, and everybody has at least one. The most common are fear of the future, fear of change, fear of loss, fear of harm, fear of a powerful enemy, fear of regret, fear of ill health and infirmity. And then every specific target audience has its own specific fears. Hospital executives right now, for example, are scared to death of the uncertain and unknown ramifications of Obamacare. Okay, that's a specific fear. But these general ones apply at different times to just about all of us. So let's do a demonstration. We're going to vote on headlines, and you will tell me which of these you think, I'm going to show you 7, are more powerful. They are headlines that could be used to sell some sort of information product about relationships to women. So the audience is women. Here are the headlines. I'll let you look for a second and then we'll vote because you learn more by looking around at everybody else than you learn me. Okay, so headline number 1 is improve your home life. Let's see the votes. Hardly any. Improve your marriage. Improve your love life. Got some hands there. Improve your sex life. Got more hands there, telling us something about the audience. How to keep your husband interested in you even after years of marriage. More hands. Love secrets. How to keep your husband interested in you even after years of marriage. Oh, a lot more hands. So that's the one you all like, huh? That's it? Okay. And the last one, secrets husbands wish their wives knew. How to keep your husband interested in you even after years of marriage. There's still, number 6 is the winner here, by the way. Now, are any of those as powerful as telltale signs? How to decode the secret clues that your husband is losing interest in you. Telltale signs, how to decode the secret clues that your husband is becoming interested in another woman. Telltale signs, how to decode the secret clues that your husband is thinking about asking for a divorce. If you had to bet $100,000 on an ad campaign, and you could choose any of the headlines you just saw, from the former page or from this page, and you could only bet on one, which page would you pick a headline from? This page. You better believe it. And if any of you think otherwise, you are sharing the crack pipe with the mayor from Toronto. If you would like to know, these are real headlines from real split tests. And the winner is divorce. Why? Because it encompasses the most fears. Go back to our fear list. Fear of the future, fear of change, fear of loss, fear of harm, fear of a powerful enemy. Why is he getting divorced? Another woman. Fear of regret, fear of ill health and infirmity. We got almost all of them except maybe the last, right? So the winner is the divorce headline. None of the ones on the first page come even close to the ones on the second page. Positive motivation, negative motivation. Which has more power? Negative motivation. A brief diversion. Many of you won't like that. I don't actually like it either. I would rather just use positive motivation. The time to use positive motivation is after you have a customer and you are now helping them. That's where it belongs. After the acquisition, after the sale, not before the acquisition and not before the sale. All it does there is get in your way. So many of you won't like it. If it is any consolation to you whatsoever, I don't like it either. I'm really a warm, fuzzy, happy, cheery, optimistic guy. I am. I'm a little furball. But I also like to sell stuff. The second little diversion is some of you will choose not to believe it about your customers, your target market. You will say, well, maybe, but my people are not like this. My people are smarter. My people are better educated. My people are more sophisticated. I've tried to drive that home to you by mentioning how many of these ads work in Investors Business Daily. Go get the ad rate card if you'd like to see the demographics. They're very high. College educated, advanced degrees, high incomes, etc. But you will still say, not my people. My people are different. And you will be wrong. And why do you believe that if, in fact, that thought popped into your mind? Well, because it's your ego talking. It's flattering to have customers who are smarter, more sophisticated, and don't behave like this. You want to believe that about your customers. You certainly want to believe it about yourself. However, we all operate this way. Situationally, at different times, we all operate this way. Everybody believes themselves and their customers are different and better. Too good for this. You would be wrong. Anxiety and security. So this is the top half of a postcard, very successful for an ordinary financial advisor, meaning looking for people with investable assets of retirees would say $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Postcard looks like this. Broken promises and why you shouldn't rely on any government programs for your financial security or health and well-being. At the top, there's a picture of a little cat snuggled up on a couch. Aw, Say aw, aw. Okay. If only you could feel this secure and worry-free as the cat. All right? Now this works for an ordinary financial advisor. The next ad I'm going to show you, which is a successful ad, it's from Forbes, it's mine for a client, is for an unordinary investment advisor. So this postcard is mailing to a demographic list in a target market area of people that might only have $200,000. The ad I'm about to show you is running in Forbes, okay, and it requires response only from someone who has sold or is in the process of selling their company for at least $10 million. Would you agree that that person, this person who has sold or is about to sell their company for $10 million or more is probably smarter, more educated, more sophisticated, saner, more rational than the ordinary rank-and-file, perhaps blue-collar person who might respond to this? No. She said yes. No. No, they're not. They appear to be. They got a better suit on. They live in a better house. The only difference between people who have a lot of money and no money is the people that have a lot of money have a lot of money. That's it. That's the only difference. Years ago, Wesley Snipes, you guys all know who Wesley Snipes is? Okay. So Wesley Snipes is being interviewed on the Today Show. This is before he was a tax cheat and a felon and all that stuff. So he's being interviewed on a Today Show, and I don't remember now who the host was. They're all a blur, you know. But the host asked him this question. Do you think of yourself as an actor first or a black actor first? Snipes said, well, when I get up in the morning naked, I'm black. But when I get to the stage, I'm an actor. Everybody's the same. Everybody's the same. I don't care if they read Forbes or they read Trailer Park Monthly. I got news for you. They both check their astrology forecast. I did an infomercial with Nancy Reagan's astrologer. What a whack job. This one is. No offense intended, I'm sure. Hey, Dave, are you in the room anywhere? This is the one to do a psychic reading for, right here. Okay? You can't mess this up. So, most people, though, would nod like you did. Oh, of course, the person who reads this must be smarter, more sophisticated, more rational, more everything than the person with just $200,000 living in a little retirement community in Arizona. Everybody would agree, and everybody would be wrong. Here's the ad. When a man sells his company, conflicting advice flies, vultures circle, unseen peril lurks. Who can really be trusted to tell him the truth? The guy who wrote the book. If you intend to sell or are selling or have recently sold a company worth $10 million to $40 million or more, I have vital experience-based information that even your most trusted advisors may not tell you and may not even know. See if I can find another one. It's all in here, by the way. You are obviously an accomplished, successful person, or you would not have a valuable entity to sell, but you are not experienced in this. And the intermediaries and advisors directly involved in this transaction have agendas of their own. You will have or now have a large sum of money in a low-yield environment. You may find yourself feeling lost and overly eager to get back into an active decision-making role. You will confront conflicting advice, issues with people in your life, and numerous opportunities. If not careful, you will put money that can no longer be replaced into situations with unacceptable, perhaps hidden and secret risks. I've seen very successful and smart people make critical mistakes during and after the sale of a business, and I can present those hazards for your consideration and avoidance. There are a surprising number of pitfalls, including some concealed from view during the process of selling a company. I've only read you pieces. All right? There is only nuance, language differences between this and all the other fear stuff I have shown you. Forbes reader who has sold a company for $10 to $40 million. Seventh factor, greed and sloth. It never goes out of style. The desire for something for nothing, particularly money, is universal. The 1960s, the big hit in our industry. Self-published book, full-page newspaper ads. It's one of the great classic ads. Was Joe Carbo's The Lazy Man's Way to Riches. Full-page ads ran on the back pages of major metropolitan newspapers and business sections of newspapers all across the country. Not the newspaper in Toothlessville, Alabama, the New York Times, the LA Times, the Washington Post, the Chicago Tribune, for the lazy man's way to riches. Anyone with enough brains to actually read a copy-rich, full-page newspaper ad, if they are engaged in rational thought, knows the promise can't be true. Almost everybody knows at least one rich person, and they read about rich people, and you can't find a lazy rich person. It's impossible. Even the third-generation ones who inherit it aren't lazy. They're at every party, nightclub, boat show, blowing money like you can't imagine. You can't do that sitting on a couch eating Cheetos. You cannot burn through $1 billion fortune in a single generation being lazy about it. You got to work at blowing that money. You will never meet a lazy rich person. In fact, most rich people work harder and work longer hours than most poor people. Furthermore, they turn everything they do into unlazy activity. Warren Buffett decides to play bridge. He treks and finds the #1 bridge player in the country and pays her a ton of money to teach him how to play bridge so he can win. That's how rich people have hobbies. 2 reasons I don't play golf. One is the story Dave alluded to, which I've been last night with one of the groups, which I'm not going to tell you, I don't think. But the other reason is because if I did, it would be barely a matter of months before I would have 3 coaches, be scheming to get on the senior tour, own a country club, and be immersed in golf as work. I could not help myself. That's what we are. So anyone who can read a full-page newspaper ad, engaged in rational thought, knows this is not true. However, everybody wants it. Everybody would like to know about it if it did exist. And if we can get somebody to suspend rational thought long enough, they will buy it to find out about it. You may recall, very successful management book, 1980s, The 1 Minute Manager. No one published The 1 Minute Lover. But The 1 Minute Manager was a big hit. How many of you have ever managed anybody? Child, employee, anybody? How many of you, if engaged in rational thought, think that you can do it in 1 minute a day? Lots of luck. But we'd like to, and if. My friend Tim Ferriss's Google AdWords test-driven title. The book's a lot better than the title. The 4-hour work week. We've now come from 1960 to now. Nobody's gotten any smarter. 4-hour work week. Really? Really? Homeless people spend more than 4 hours at the street corner with their sign. No one has a 4-hour work week. While driving the book onto the bestseller list, by the way, my friend Tim was flying across the country to go do interviews on the Today Show, doing radio interviews from dawn until midnight, 7 days a week, hustling. Seemingly, you could drive the 4-hour work week book to the bestseller list with 4-hour work weeks. No, you can't. But we would like this to be true. That if we can get somebody to suspend rational thought long enough, they will buy it to find out whether or not it can possibly be true. One of the all-time hits headlines is lose weight while you sleep, make money while you sleep. You can do it either way. It's been used in both ways. It's not new. These headlines have a 50-year history of being trotted out and used again and again and again. Lose weight while you sleep. You got to have restless leg syndrome beyond anyone's imagination to burn off a few calories while you sleep. I sleep fast, but I don't lose any weight. And anyone with a brain knows. How many have seen the current ad campaign for the stuff you sprinkle on your food so none of the calories and the fat grams stick to you when they go through your system? Okay? How many of you got the stuff? Come on, be proud. 50 million people have bought it. Odds are there's one of you in the room. Here's how unnew that is. 1963, full-page ad, National Enquirer. Had a banana split this big and a gallon of bikini with a 21-inch waist next to it, shrunk down, so the banana split was bigger than she was. Sprinkling powder on the banana split, because if you put this powder on it, you could eat as many of them as you want and not gain any weight or inches. 1963. This is 2013. This never goes out of style. We all know better. Doesn't matter. We all hope it is possible. Greed and sloth. So here's some copy. This is all copy I've written at various times for different promotions. It does the work for you. It does the heavy lifting for you. For you are two really good words. It implies you do nothing and you get a result. Easier than any way of making money you've ever seen. Make $1,000 a day in less time than it takes to shower and dress in the morning. Guess what that does? That's the trigger mental picture again. That headline makes somebody think about taking a shower and getting dressed and thinking about how many minutes they take to do that and how cool it would be to make $1,000 in that amount of time. And while they're thinking that, they can't think anything else. If you can click a mouse, microwave money As fast as microwaving a cup of coffee. Same thing. Guy pictures himself in front of the microwave waiting for the coffee. Okay? Which, by the way, we all do that. Okay? It takes what? A minute? And we are impatiently standing there waiting for the coffee. A minute. You think by now, we can get a man to the moon. You think we could reduce this a little bit. Mail just 2 type pages to any 25 of your customers every day and watch a tidal wave of extra sales flow in. The magic in that is pretty much everybody thinks they can handle getting 2 type pages into an envelope. Push button profits. This is a letter to get joint ventures. We first used it in 2000. Looks like this. Still use it today, so it's 13 years old. Clients using it today. Works as an email, too, by the way. Regarding free money. Dear Who's This? I'm interested in setting up a joint venture with you, offering to your customers. It'll be a very simple way for you to add substantial profits to your bottom line without lifting a finger or investing a dime. I will do all the work, pay all the costs, and make sure the project is kept on track. All you have to do is give me the okay to move forward and deposit the $1,000 checks I will send you. This will get people on the phone. If it is FedEx with a $100 bill attached to it, which is how we use it, my client uses it, it really gets people on the phone. And yet, if they stopped and thought about it, and they tapped their own business experience, because this is going to successful business people in a particular industry, peers, they know there's no such thing as free money. However, who doesn't want free money? The combination of this promise, a $100 bill attached to it, they can't think of anything else. Rational thought is gone. Critical thought is gone. Hand is going to phone. Mind going nowhere. Here is a variation on greed and sloth. This will make you a lot of money, this one. So be sure you leave with this one. This is called the how to get everything you want without doing anything you don't like or don't want to do. All right? That's a template for copy. All you have to do is turn the generics into specifics that match your market. How to get the exact body you want without doing any exercise, without, etc. Okay? I call it the pizza and ice cream diet. Lose all the weight you want on pizza and ice cream. The key word here is the word without. For you, 2 key words, without key word. Here it is in actual use. This is a current piece for a client of mine. It's aimed, oh, by the way, it's aimed at dentists. How many dentists do we have in the room? Great. How many years you got to go to college to be a dentist? 8 years to go to college to be a dentist. So get this. He's got 8 years of college. Here's what I'm putting in front of him. What if you really could double production with only 5 elegantly simple but profoundly powerful changes put in place in just days without spending 1 red cent more on external advertising or marketing, without leasing the next new pricey techno gadget, without adding to staff or piling new marketing work onto them and facing mutiny, and without you having to become some sort of green-eyed monster super salesman and master closer of giant cases? That is how to get everything you want without doing anything you don't like or don't like to do. That's what it is. He has 8 years of college. It will fill a seminar room. I'll give you the longer list. You'll even like the longer list better. Watch this. So look how long the list is. I'll read it. At least double your present production. See significant production increases the first 2 months without doubling or even sharply increasing your workload. In fact, you'll probably wind up working less. Without doubling your overhead. In fact, you will raise profitability of your practice. It's common for net to go down as gross goes up. We will not put you on that insane trajectory. Without doubling your advertising or marketing budget or activity, without sacrificing your professionalism, your ethics, or your reputation, without you becoming a super salesman or master closer, without asking your hygienist to think and act like a car salesman, without pressuring staff to think and act in ways they find insulting or unpleasant or overly resistant or want to sabotage. Without any new pricey technology, without piling marketing work on your staff, you will finally create income certainty, predictable, steady, new patient flow you can depend on by making only five's good because you've got 5 fingers, only 5 elegant, well, it's better than 6. See, 5 is a much better number. By making only 5 elegantly simple changes, all of which can be fully and completely understood in 2 days. You will sustain positive staff pride and morale and real teamwork and strengthen the entire practice. That's a good list, isn't it? Isn't that a good list? You bet it's a good list. So, these 7 factors drive our industry. For them to be fair, what you are selling with them must be able to actually deliver on the promise and must be beneficial to the people to whom you are selling it. You decide for yourself whether you are playing fair or not, or whether you wish to play fair. But these are the 7 factors that drive our industry.
Thank you for listening to the Magnetic Marketing Podcast with Dan Kennedy. If you love hearing in on these lost Dan Kennedy talks and speeches and calls, then please let someone else know about this podcast. That's how you can help it to grow. And the more it grows, the more free Dan Kennedy we can bring to you. Also, Dan would love to give you the most incredible free gift ever, designed to help you make maximum money in minimum time. Now, this free gift comes with almost $20,000 in pure money-making information for free just for saying maybe. You can get this gift from Dan right now at nobsletter.com. Not only will you get the $20,000 gift, you're also going to get a subscription to 2 marketing newsletters that will be hand-delivered by the mailman to your mailbox each and every month. One from Dan Kennedy and one from me, Russell Brunson. To get this gift and your subscription, go to nobsletter.com right now.